Hey fellas, Snorkel MMA here, and welcome to my recap of UFC Fight Night. Gerald Cannonier versus Caio Borralho. Pretty fucking good card, definitely over-delivered. Yeah, it was very enjoyable. I've heard a lot of people saying it was a good card, and I thought it looked decent. Just the co-main was a bit puzzling as to why that was the co-main. Okay, so the main event, Gerald Cannonier versus Caio Borralho. Caio Borralho won by unanimous decision. Yeah. He almost knocked Cannonier out in the last round, like right at the end. I think he actually did knock him out, but he followed him down and got ground and pound. I think the ground and pound actually woke Cannonier up. So yeah, the fight played out pretty much solely on the feet. I thought, and I think a lot of people thought that Caio Borralho was going to mix in the grappling, which was going to give him the edge, but he straight up just outstruck Cannonier on the feet. He looked much more technical, and he was just landing a lot more than Cannonier. Cannonier was getting some pretty good power shots off with charging forward and blitzes, and he was pushing Caio back a little bit, but yeah, Caio just outlanded him. Caio was just utilizing really good range strikes. He was getting some really crazy leg kicks off. It looked like he was damaging Cannonier, but Cannonier is like a Wolverine, bro. He has regenerative abilities like crazy. He gets knocked out, but he just recovers so quickly. And he's done that multiple times. With Whitaker, he looked almost knocked out, then he hits more and he just regens. It's actually crazy. But yeah, Caio was hitting with clean leg kicks, clean jabs that were actually knocking Cannonier's head back. Cannonier didn't really have much, it seemed like to me. He really just had a blitz, and he was just kind of getting hooks off. He was getting his own leg kicks and jabs off, but Caio was just getting way more off. And yeah, Cannonier did cut Caio a pretty bad cut. I don't remember what it came from, but yeah, that was about it. Yeah, Caio was just, and especially with Caio basically finishing him. I don't know, a lot of referees would have stopped that. So yeah, I had a Caio 3-2. It was kind of close-ish, but yeah, Caio definitely won. Okay, moving to the co-main. Angela Hill versus Tabatha Ricci. So Ricci got the, split decision? Unanimous decision. Tabatha Ricci, which I thought Angela Hill won. I gave round 2 and 3 to Hill. Yeah, Ricci was pushing Hill back, but I feel like Hill was just landing more, and the power was dead even. So if we're gonna go off damage or damaging strikes, I think Hill outlanded her round 2 and 3 by far. I don't really get how they give it to her. I don't see anything. She was going for takedowns, and Hill actually defended takedowns, was threatening subs with her defense. So if anything, that should be giving points towards Hill. See, I don't understand how the flip. This was a Ricci win. I really thought this was a clear Hill win. And the fact that it's unanimous decision as well, it's a bit sus. So what, they're just kind of giving it to her because she has a bit of buzz, she's younger, she's hotter. That's what it kind of felt like. So I don't see how Hill lost that. I don't know. Okay, moving down to the tough middleweight finale. Robert Valentin. Well, I heard how they pronounced it. It was Robert Valentin. It's not Valentin, it's something else, whatever, versus Ryan Loder. I got this pick wrong. I thought that Ryan Loder was going to at least try stand-up, but he actually did what wrestlers rarely do when they have the wrestling advantage, where he just went for takedowns right at the start, and he would not give it up. To be fair, he finished him in round 2 by TKO, doctored by ref stoppage, and he got him down right at the start both times. So it's not like he ever got it denied and he kept going for it, but yeah, he actually did what wrestlers never do when they have the wrestling advantage, and just straight up went for the takedowns, didn't mess around of striking at all. Yeah, so that was actually impressive. Round 1, there was some pretty cool scrambles on the ground. Valentin had him in some close subs. It looked like, not really close, but he had him in some compromising positions. But yeah, Ryan Loder had the control time the whole time, and he was getting a bit of ground and pound off. And then, pretty sure Robert Valentin actually hurt his leg in round 1 somehow. I can't remember how, but I remember he was on the stool and his leg was fucked up. And yeah. Then at the start of round 2, he gets taken down instantly. He actually caught Loder with an elbow on the Loder's entry, but Loder just tanked it, went through, and got the takedown. And yeah, he pretty much got Valentin in this crucifix position with both his armpit, and it was just raining down elbows. Valentin was in that position for probably over a minute, and he was shocking, moving his hips trying to get him off, but Loder just kept on him with the crucifix ground and pound. It was actually a really cool finish. Yeah, I'm impressed by Ryan Loder. That was cool. I'm pretty sure Robert Valentin will also get a UFC contract. That's what's kind of weird about like Contender Series and Ultimate Fighters. It's not like if you win, you get the contract, and if you lose, you don't. It's always like people that lose on Contender Series are fighting like right after they lose, and people that lose on Tough are fighting right after they lose. Like there was actually supposed to be two Tough losers fighting on this card, so it's like, do you get like a higher salary with the Tough contracts? I know it kind of used to be like that. Like you got like a really decent base salary. So I don't know if I've never heard of them bring that up in a long time. So yeah, it's kind of a pointless competition at this point, really. But yeah, impressive showing by Ryan Loder. Robin Valentin, I really like him, but I don't know if he's really elite. I would like to see him fight in the UFC. I think he definitely gets some wins, but I don't see him like going on a run or anything. Like neither of the guys, but yeah, they're both pretty interesting fighters. Loder actually commits to takedowns, which is something that's rare in wrestlers. Okay, moving on to the Tough featherweight finale. Kaan Ofli versus Mairon Santos. Really impressive by Mairon Santos. He got KO round 2. I think at the very start of round 1, it looked pretty even on the feet to me. It looked like they were pretty evenly matched, but then Mairon just flipped a gear like 1 minute in and he just started piecing Kaan up. Really damaging leg kicks, really damaging like jabs that were knocking him back, just utilizing his range really good. So he pieced him up round 1, and then round 2 you could tell Kaan was he looked desperate. And right at the start of round 2, the first time he did this, by the way, he goes in for a blitz, like a really reckless blitz, like a Dricus Duplessis, and Mairon instantly, first time he does it, counters him, knocks him out clean off a right hook, and then like he's like on his knees knocked out, and he got some like based follow-up shots. Kind of unnecessary, but that's really impressive, because like that's what I was thinking like Izzy and Izzy would do to Dricus. Like when he's charging in, he'd get a read, but Dricus did that about 400 fucking times, and Izzy never got a read for the counter. Kaan goes in once, and Mairon Santos gets the counter instantly. That's really impressive to me. I think Mairon Santos looks legit, bro. I could see him going on a run. Okay, moving on to Neil Magny versus Michael Morales. Michael Morales got the KO in round 1. Really impressive performance from Morales. So basically it started off with Morales getting some really mean leg kicks off on Neil Magny, known kryptonite to Neil Magny with that Ian Gary performance, and pretty sure someone else fucked him up for leg kicks as well. But yeah, and then Neil Magny tried to get him back with his own leg kick. Michael Morales checked it, like one of the nastiest checks I've ever seen. You could just tell it fucked up Magny's leg instantly. So he was piecing him up at range with like leg kicks and like jabs that were knocking Magny's head back. But then Magny did the Magny classic and he got him against the fence in the clinch. It was looking like, oh shit, Magny looked like he actually had some pretty decent control. It was looking like, oh fuck, this is going to be another Neil Magny holding a Rising Star against the fence performance. But no, it was actually a really sick fucking sequence. Eventually Michael Morales got out, and instead of just doing like a normal elbow off the clinch, he did like a spinning elbow, spinning to get out, spinning elbow, all the momentum hit Magny, knocked him out clean, bro. And then I think he got some follow-up ground and pound shots off after that. Really impressive, and I'm hopeful for these new up-and-coming strikers. They seem like they're actually really good. Like, I feel like our current strikers, like Izzy and all that shit, the problem is they don't have any fucking power, and they never get any good counters off. That's why Alex Pereira and like Sean O'Malley and stuff are really taking over, because the new gen of striker actually has power and they can actually find counters. Like the old style of just like Izzy, where he just keeps them at range and just like leg kicks and just like runs away whenever they get close. It just doesn't work anymore. People just know to just push through that now. And like, yeah, there's a new generation of strikers that actually find counters and they actually find good damaging sequences. It's fucking very hopeful for the future. Okay, moving on to Edmen Shahbazyan versus Gerald Meerschaert. Gerald Meerschaert did it, boys. He got the round 2 sub, the GM3 Classic. So yeah, round 1 was actually it was quite impressive from Shahbazyan. He was finding good rangy strikes. Didn't really rock Gerald Meerschaert, but he has like a really solid round 1 rangy striker. And he was avoiding the takedowns really good, just circling out, and like none of the takedowns were even close. And then round 2, the worst thing that can happen when you verse GM3 happens. You knock him down, not out. Fuck, that's a bad... yeah. So he knocked him down, followed him down, went for some really crazy, like rabbit-paced ground and pound. He missed a lot of the shots and gassed himself out. And you could just tell it was not a good sign. It was looking dangerous on the ground when he was on top after gassing from not being able to finish GM3. But then it got back to the feet, and you could just tell that he did not have the same footwork that he had in the first round to make that so GM3 couldn't take him down. And GM3 took him down pretty much instantly after Shahbazyan disengaged from the top and just found, I think it was an arm triangle, like, instantly. It was kind of sad, but honestly, Edmen Shahbazyan's he's just bad fight IQ, I think. I think he's a talented striker, just bad fight IQ, bad finishing potential. And GM3's just kind of goated, bro. You just, the best offense is getting dropped with this cunt. Yeah. If you drop him, not knock him out, it's actually a bad view. It's just like, it's Charles Oliveira, but big. Okay, moving down to Dennis Buzukja versus Francis Marshall. I've never seen this Marshall guy before. I think it might have been his debut. He just replaced, I think two people fell out for this Dennis Buzukja guy. Yeah, it was very close fight. You could almost give it round 2 and 3 to Buzukja, but Marshall did win by split decision, and I think it was the right call. Round 1 was 100% Francis Marshall, because he just controlled him the whole round, pretty much, round 1. Round 2 was very even. Marshall won the first half, and Buzukja won the second half, in my eyes, but Marshall did drop him, so I think that edged it out for Marshall. And then Buzukja, I think I gave round 3 to Buzukja, just because he was hitting harder, and he was not getting hit that much more, but just the round 1, no way, it has to be Marshall. And round 2 was Marshall, just because he dropped him, Buzukja did not get that much more off. I think the drop swayed it over towards him. Okay, moving on to Zachary versus Jose Medina. This is a unanimous decision for Zachary Reese. Yeah, this was very impressive from Zachary Reese. He kind of fucking dog-walked Medina in all aspects. Round 1 was an insane amount of damage was given to Medina. I think 99% of people would get dropped by that. If you don't have the Homer Simpson build, I think you get finished. Most people get finished by that first round. That was crazy. And Medina ate about fucking 40 flush liver shots were like echoing. It was like, holy shit, how is this guy even standing? It's actually kind of crazy. So yeah, round 1 and 2, he pieced him up. Round 1 was really close to being finished. And I think round 2, he started conserving his gas tank a little, because he's like, oh fuck, I'm not getting this guy out. I have to conserve. Then round 3, he just took him down and pretty much lied on top of him. Medina got up a few times, but then he just took him down. So he kind of outclassed him in all aspects, Zachary Reese did. It was impressive to know that Zachary Reese doesn't have to get the first round finish, and he can last 3 rounds. He didn't look that elite after the first round. You can definitely tell that he's got like that fast twitch muscle build rather than like Colby Covington, Onslaught. But he can last 3 rounds, and it was impressive. Yeah. Moving down to Viacheslav Borshchev's Leather Claws versus James Llontop. This is a pretty clear decision win for Borshchev. It was split. I can see how it was split because Llontop was catching Borshchev a few times. You could tell that he hits a bit harder, like he has like more one punch power than Borshchev. But Borshchev was just piece. Round 1 and 2 has to be actually split decision. Is not an understandable call because round 1 and 2 have to be Borshchev. Borshchev was just piecing him up on the feet. You could tell round 1 and round 2, Llontop was really confused by Borshchev and he wasn't coming forward. Round 3, he figured out that he has to go forward and he has to pressure Borshchev. So I think round 3 probably was Llontop. But round 1 and 2 was definitely Borshchev. Just with the clean kickboxing, it just played out on the feet entirely. I think Borshchev actually was the only one that went for a takedown. But yeah, it was a really sloppy takedown and Llontop just denied that shit. But yeah, round 1 and 2, 100% Borshchev, just cleaner striking. Yeah, moving down to Jacqueline Cavalvcanti versus Josiane Nunes. So yeah, Cavalvcanti got the split decision win. Again, I don't see how this was not Cavalvcanti. Pretty much all 3 rounds played out exactly the same, where Cavalvcanti was just piecing her up at range of like leg kicks and like jabs, and then Nunes would just Juliana Pena run at her, get her against the fence, and then Jacqueline would circle out the exact same way every time, and Nunes never like threw like a hook because she circled off. I think it was to the left every time, so she never threw the left hook. She only thing she ever did was go forward and like retard blitz, and Cavalvcanti was just piecing her up besides that. The only round that was kind of close was round 3, because I think Nunes kind of started cutting her off a little bit, but not really properly, and she got more offense off. Maybe you can give her a round 3, but I don't see how this is a split decision. These split decisions were weird, this card. Okay, moving on to the fight of the night. Nah, jokes. I think GM3 Meerschaert was probably fight of the night for me. But yeah, this was probably second best fight of the night. This was actually cool. The Joker, bro. The Joker gets the round 1 KO. Your eyes are not deceiving you. If you see the KO in WMMA, your eyes are not deceiving you. Yeah, the Joker, bro. The setup fight 1. They picked the only WMA fighter ever to have gotten KO'd. Nah, jokes, but like Yeah, this is kind of crazy how they give her Leonardo. She's like the chiniest WMA fighter I've ever seen in my life. It was impressive strategy from Wang Kong. She was like, hitting her, piecing her up with leg kicks, and then she was going high, like high low with the leg kicks, confusing the fuck out of Leonardo, CT ridden Leonardo. No, I'm joking, but yeah. And then Leonardo eventually got sick of getting leg kicked and charged in. And then boom, another impressive, actually got a counter strike off. So she charged in, did the Duke was supposed to charge in, and then she just right hooked her and knocked her out. Why could Izzy not do this once, by the way? Wang Kong can get a raid on the charge in the first time, but Drix Duplessis can charge in 1,000,000 times, and Israel Adesanya never gets the right hook off. Anyway, I'm still salty about that, but yeah, impressive performance from Wang Kong. Doesn't really mean anything because Victoria Leonardo literally has gotten finished by KO 3 times in her last 5 fights now. That's kind of crazy. And it's like round 1 every time. So this is obviously just a setup to get Wang Kong some momentum, and I think it worked. Wang Kong also carried the momentum herself with the whole Joker thing. I don't know if you guys saw that. She came out with the Joker face paint. I even saw a really cool video where she was in like a dark room with the Joker. She has the whole Joker emotes. Pretty cool, but it's actually some hype in the flyweight division, so I'm not complaining. Okay, guys, that's all from me. I did pretty fucking good on picks this card. So Wang Kong versus Leonard, I got Kong right. I got Cavalvcanti right. I got Borshchev right. I got Zachary right. I did not pick the Francis Marshall one because it got added after. I got Gerald Meerschaert, Edmen Shahbazyan wrong. I got Michael Morales right. I got Santos right. I got Loder, Valentin wrong. I got Ricci right. I got Caio right. So kind of fucking popped off, bro. I think I got like at least 70% correct this card. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.